What happens after we die? Everyone wants to know. Could we have been here before? Will we be here again?
7, 8, 9, 10.
Some people try to find answers by undergoing a special kind of hypnosis to look for memories of past lives.
Just let it unfold like a movie. Just tell me what you see or perceive.
I'm in France.
In Scotland. Like a gold rush thing happening.
All you need to do is call it up and imagine it.
Georgina Cannon does these past life regressions at the Ontario Hypnosis Centre.
I guess I'm being sacrificed. I'm male.
I would say I'm the queen.
I feel white.
We've asked dozens of Canadians, skeptics and believers, to give this method a try. Not as a scientific experiment, but as an exploration of a mysterious experience.
I'm in a box, and people are putting roses on me. Roses on me.
I'm Sarah Kapoor. I'll investigate what our volunteers describe. And if possible, I'll take them on a trip of a lifetime. This is today's volunteer for a past life regression.
My name is Natasha Kong, and I'm 29 years old, and I live in downtown Toronto. I've been here for the past 10 or 11 years or so, but I'm originally from Vancouver. My family is Chinese, Jamaican, and Scottish, and I was raised Roman Catholic.
Natasha agreed to fit this experiment into her schedule.
I also work downtown as a creative director, and I oversee a number of designers and the content and help put together websites.
She's willing to try it out, even though she wasn't raised to believe in past lives.
Okay. So we just want to do like a matrix at the back of the functional spectrum?
Yeah, exactly.
She's starting with some skepticism.
Kind of gives a clinical look here. I think I'm a little curious, and I have some questions about the whole process of being hypnotized to get back to a past life. I don't know if there's anything that's going to be revealed to me. I don't have any expectations of anything being revealed to me, so I'm just pretty open to trying it and seeing if it goes somewhere, great. If nothing happens and I don't have a past life, then so be it.
Go deep inside yourself and connect with the beat of your heart. Letting go. 1, 2, that's right. 3. Relaxing down. 4, 5. And deeper. At the count of 3, go to where you live. 1, 2, 3.
I think it's Nepal.
Mm-hmm.
Nepal, it's somewhere in the mountains.
What era is this? What year do you think it is?
1930.
Mm-hmm.
There's a young boy smiling at me.
Mm-hmm. What's his name?
I call him Teti.
Teti. Mm-hmm.
Teti.
And if you listen carefully, can you hear them call you by name? What is your name?
They're calling me Manju.
Manju. And what do you do?
I think I transport. I see myself transporting something. I'm going into India.
Mm-hmm.
I'm traveling into India.
Mm-hmm.
There's a small town on the border.
Mm-hmm. Called
Anjit.
Natasha gave a time, a name, and a place. She called the town Anjit and placed it near the India-Nepal border. It sounds like it could be a place, but so far my map searches haven't turned up a match.
They're calling me Manju. Manju.
The other thing I've never seen before while watching regressions is someone speaking another language.
Surya.
Somehow Natasha is calling up words in Hindi,
Tati.
the main language spoken in India.
Raji. It's Raji.
I think my dad might be able to help.
Hello?
Hi, Dad.
Yes?
How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you busy?
No, I'm not busy.
I need some help with this research that I'm doing.
Okay, all right.
This woman in her regression, I think she started saying some Hindi words.
All right.
And she called herself Manju. What does Manju mean?
Manju is someone who's dear to the heart and the mind.
What about Suryam?
Suryam, it has so many connotations.
Doesn't it have something to do with the sun?
Sun, yeah, sun god, you know. Sun is bright, there's someone who dispels darkness.
So strange because she wouldn't know this stuff.
Is that right? That is quite surprising. Mankind is, you know, a human being is completely a puzzle. and the more you explore, the more baffled you become. You know.
Right. Okay.
Okay, Mademoiselle Sarah.
Okay, I have to finish my research.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.
Surya.
How common is it for people to just start talking in foreign languages while in hypnosis?
Surya. Come and have a seat.
I decided to show Natasha's regression to Adam Crabtree.
And I'd like you to watch it and tell me what you think of it.
He's an ordained Roman Catholic priest who's now a psychotherapist and a specialist on memory.
Call him Tati. Call him Tati. Tati. Tati.
And if you listen carefully, can you hear them call you by name?
They're calling me Manju. They're calling me Manju. Manju.
It's called xenoglossy, or xenoglossy, and that it's made up of two Greek words, the xeno meaning stranger or strange or alien, and glossy or glossa refers to the tongue or language. So you're talking about a foreign language.
Alien tongue.
Exactly. And so the person knows a language, but without having previously learned it as far as they can tell. So that's what xenoglossy consists in.
So would you call this a mild case of xenoglossy?
Yes, this would be a case, a simple case where you're dealing with a few words from the language.
Raji. It's Raji. Raji. It's Raji. Surya.
Could this really be leftover knowledge from a past life? Or just some words and ideas Natasha picked up in this life?
You talked in pretty great detail about day-to-day living and the region and the geography of Nepal, of northern India. Is that stuff that you have studied or that you have read about?
No. But I still question whether or not I'm picking things up from things that I am reading about and may have influenced that, the regression. And I don't think so. I haven't studied anything about the geography or the history of that region, so I wouldn't, no, not from studying or reading any books at all.
There are possible explanations, though, perhaps even more difficult to accept than reincarnation. One of them is possession, and that is that this person is actually temporarily taken over by the spirit of the person who lived in that place, and so that they're getting the information from that spirit. I mean, that's a difficult one to accept, right? Okay, but that's a possible explanation. You know, if you eliminate natural causes, let's say, the explanation of it being reincarnation or a past life is one of the simplest.
I never thought someone would tell me a past life is a simple explanation.
I'm going into India.
I guess so if the alternative is possession.
I'm traveling into India.
But unless I find out if there is a place called Anjit, this still needs a lot of explaining.
I'm going into India. I'm traveling into India to deliver. I'm not sure if it's grains or rice. Grains, I think, or grains.
Where do you go in India?
Egypt.
This is Natasha. She's never been to India, but while in hypnosis, she had a past life memory from there. She was a trader named Manju and traveled to a town along the Nepal-India border. What I'm trying to do is find some historical accuracy in what she said. I've started by looking for the town she named, something that sounds like Anjit. I asked my good friend, journalist Corey Snook, to check out the map library at the University of Toronto.
Hi, Corey.
Sarah.
How are you doing?
Good.
Did you find something?
I think we had a little breakthrough.
What do you mean?
Well, there's this old map, 1955, and there's a little town called Anji. It's just outside of a town called Shahabad. And I mean, it's a border region. It's near some major trading posts. Perfect.
But I looked for one. I couldn't find one.
I know. I checked online, checked new maps, nothing. Decided to come to the map library, look up some old maps, and I found it on 1896, 1942, 1955.
What makes you think this is the one?
Well, I found some Anjis outside, much farther away, but she said border,
Yeah.
India, Nepal.
There's a small town on the border.
So Anji exists.
Oh, yes. And not only exists, but it's in the right place. I mean, I think it's awesome, really.
A little dot on an old map. Could this be the place Natasha was talking about? I'm at the local train station. It's a few kilometers from the village of Anji, on the outskirts of the town of Shahabad. At one time, Anji was bigger than Shahabad. Now it's the other way around. That's why Anji isn't on any of the recent maps.
I'm going into there's an open market.
And you do what?
I'm selling the grain.
And who else is in the market?
People from the other towns have come in to buy food.
Everything depends on finding the pieces Natasha described. Otherwise, this might not be the place. Anji has been around for more than 500 years. Life goes on without electricity, and days are spent harvesting the fields of sugarcane. Here, most people take reincarnation as a given, accepting everyday ups and downs as the result of previous lives. The first thing I need to find is the market, which I haven't seen so far.
अंजू में कोई हाट है? मार्केट है यहाँ पे?
मार्केट?
हाँ।
शाहबाद है।
यहाँ पे नहीं है?
यहाँ पे नहीं है।
नहीं है?
नहीं है।
कभी भी नहीं था?
कभी भी नहीं था। मार्केट यहाँ नहीं लगा कभी भी।
अंजी में?
अंजी में नहीं मार्केट कभी।
अच्छा जी, ओके। नमस्ते, थैंक यू। ये आओ, आपको चाची की बुलाओ।
ये चाची आ रही हैं।
जी, अंजी में कोई हाट है? कोई हाट है? कोई मार्केट है यहाँ पे? नहीं है। गांव में कोई मार्केट नहीं है।
मार्केट गांव कहाँ है? शाहबाद में है मार्केट।
शाहबाद में? अच्छा, ओके, धन्यवाद।
There's an open market.
What era is this? What year do you think it is?
1930.
Hold on. 1930 was over 70 years ago. There's got to be another way.
You know, I'm going to find an old person.
1930.
जी, कितने साल से है आप यहाँ अंजी में?
मैं?
हाँ।
करीबन ये अंग्रेजी हुकूमत से पहले नवाबी के जमाने में समझ लो 1700 की बात करो।
ओह, ओके, अच्छा। जी, यहाँ पे कोई हाट था?
जी हाँ, हाट था।
कैसे था?
आंधी में बाजार लगती थी, हाट। अच्छा, वो हर ये सौदा नेपाल से लोग आते थे।
नेपाल से?
यहाँ स्वेटर वगैरह कंबल ये बेचते थे।
नेपाल से लोग?
जी, नेपाली लोग पहाड़ पर से आते थे।
पहाड़ों के लोग?
हाँ, पहाड़ नेपाले बोलते हैं। और जनरल सामान बिकता था। हफ्ते में एक मर्तबा लगती थी।
क्या औरतें भी दुकान लगाती थी?
औरतें कम लगाती,
लेकिन लगाती थी।
हाँ।
They're calling me Manju.
कोई मंजू याद है?
मंजू?
हाँ।
मंजू? नहीं समझ नहीं।
उस मार्केट की क्या कहानी है? क्या हो गया उस मार्केट को?
जब करीबन बंद हो गई है सन में समझो 35 है। 1935 में।
1935। आप जगह दिखा सकते हैं हमको?
हाँ।
वहीं पे?
हाँ।
Finding Mr. Singh was a very lucky turn. He's 84 and a World War II veteran. And if I had come here after he died, there might be no one who remembered the market.
वहीं पे? वहीं पे?
Mr. Singh told me it shut down in 1935 because traders were getting looted on the way there. But once, this little swamp was filled with flat rocks that made a platform, and that was the place of a weekly market.
लेकिन यहाँ पे एक हाट था, एक बड़ा हाट था।
हाँ, बड़ा हाट था। यहाँ कुआं था इसके अंदर।
और नेपाल के लोग यहाँ पे आते थे।
Natasha coming up with the name of a village that actually exists could be written off as coincidence. But also finding proof of a market and women traders from Nepal is extraordinary.
Hi, Natasha?
Yes.
Hi, it's Sarah calling. I am standing at a place that's very near the India-Nepal border, just like how you described in your aggression. And I found a place that I think matches what you described.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you think you can come?
I would love to come.
Okay.
Yeah, I would really like to come. I'm really excited.
They're calling me Manju.
India is a place of gorgeous contradictions. Nothing changes and nothing stays the same. It has its own concept of time. Maybe that's what happens when the majority of a population believes in reincarnation. Everything from the seasons to the stock market goes in cycles. It's all death and rebirth. Does hypnosis unlock the space in between? More evidence would help. Evidence that Natasha was going to get off the plane would also help.
Hi. How you doing? Hi, good. Nice to see you. All right, you're here, safe? Here. Everything good? Peace. Yeah, everything's good. Okay. Let's get to the car. All right, let's go.
Natasha doesn't know where I'm taking her right now.
Going by, I'm seeing snippets of things that I saw in the regression.
Really?
Yeah. Because I was actually doing sketches on the plane ride over here, so it's pretty fresh in my memory, the images. So
when did you start your sketchbook?
I started on the plane from Toronto over to India. I wanted to start it before I began the trip, just so I didn't have any influence or any. So just doing it from my memory of the regression. Gosh, it's amazing in some of these places. It looks like time has just stood still for so many years.
Our first stop is a traditional market I'd found just outside of Anji.
Let's check out the market.
There's an open market.
Samosas. This is pretty cool, and definitely seeing like the bags there and seeing the different spices in there. Oh my God, that is it. That's exactly what I saw. It's bags like this and the spices in them and them rolled back like that.
Do you have a sketch of the spices or of vegetables?
Mostly the spices and some vegetables.
Let's see.
So that's the sketch I have of the market engine.
It's just like that.
With 3 carts. I remember the carts like this. And I remember people sitting down on material very much like this and with bags. And this is what Manju would have had.
Spices, I see lots of spices, grains.
So very much what I see here is what I remember for the regression.
Natasha drew those sketches on the airplane, thousands of miles away from here. What happens when we get 20 kilometers up this road to a place where Manju might have been?
I'm going into India. I'm traveling into India.
Remember in your regression you were talking about a border town between India and Nepal called Anji or Anjit?
Yes.
This is a place called Anji, and it's called Anji here. And the mountain people, if you were a mountain person, you would have said it in a more clipped way and probably called it Anjit, Anjit, just like how you said in your regression.
You're kidding.
So we found a place called Anji, and I wanted to show it to you.
That's incredible. Anjit. Oh my God.
Yeah, but let's walk in. Let's walk in. I'll show you. I'll tell you a little bit more.
All right. I'm wondering why I came to this town and why not any other town.
I'll let you just take it all in.
Yeah.
Not quite. Careful.
You're just so excited.
What are your first thoughts on walking into the village?
Well, again, there are things that are slowly feeling a little more familiar. Just the general atmosphere of the place. Again, I remember a little more of a hubbub. There was it felt like a central area where there was a marketplace, and there were people. There was a hubbub of people coming and trading and exchanging and then departing.
So you thought there was kind of a central trading area?
There felt like a central trading area.
People from the other towns will come in to buy food.
Anji has been here since 1930, but way before that as well. At that time, there was about 5,000 people. And that's because at that time, there was a weekly market.
Oh my God. I can't believe this.
There was a weekly huge market in Anji that made this place burst, fully alive with people from all the neighboring villages.
Spices, I see lots of spices and grains.
Wow. See this area here? Like this flat area? This is where the market used to be. And this was the site. They sold spices, grains, blankets, and the most interesting thing that we learned was when we first came to the village to do the research, nobody had heard of any market. I said, is there a market here in Anji? And they said, no. Nobody could remember being a market. Then I found the oldest person I could find in the village.
जी, यहाँ पे कोई हाट था?
जी हाँ, हाट था।
कैसे था?
आंधी में बाजार लगती थी, हाट। अच्छा, वो हर ये सौदा नेपाल।
And people from Nepal would come here to sell their goods.
Kidding.
And there were women traders. I asked them, were there women traders? He said, yes, there were.
That's what I can't get over, because I was thinking, okay, I was a trader, but I was a woman, and as we were driving through, I was thinking, how could a woman be coming from Nepal to trade?
So there wasn't many, but there was a few. Even they set up their stores. Right here.
Wow. It's shocking. It's shocking. It's a little overwhelming. I'm not sure how to react to it. I can't get over it.
Natasha seems shocked that what she said in hypnosis actually could have happened in Anji, a place she didn't even know existed an hour ago. But how will she feel about where we're going next? At some point, Manju hit a fork in the road. She left her life as a trader and became a nun. Natasha doesn't know we're about to go down the same path, somewhere in the Himalayas.
somewhere in the mountains. I'm in the mountains somewhere.
During her regression, Natasha described the first part of her life as a trader in India.
I'm selling the grain.
But at some point, Manju returned to the mountains with another pursuit.
Move now to the next most important event in our lifetime. 1, 2, 3. Tell me where you are and what is happening.
It's beautiful and it's peaceful.
About how old are you?
I'm in my 40s.
And how do you spend your day?
When I get up, I dress myself.
In what?
I'm wearing robes.
What color?
It's dark. It's a dark, deep red.
How is your hair dressed? Tell me about your hair.
I have no hair.
Manju had left life as a trader to become a nun. The robes and practices she described matched the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, more than 1,200 years old and hugely prevalent across Tibet, Nepal, and northern India. There was nothing in Natasha's regression that gave me an exact location to look for.
I'm working with a monastery. It's Buddhist. It's somewhere in the mountains.
So instead, I decided to look for nuns and take Natasha with me. Hey, Natasha, wake up. Wake up. I've got a surprise for you. Surprise is that we've got a nunnery. We've got a nunnery to go to, and we have to leave before the sun comes up to get there in time for morning prayer. It's a day where you get to spend the whole day living just like a nun would. Oh, cool. Okay, start. I'm taking Natasha to the Norbulinka Institute in Dharamsala, the city where the Tibetan government operates in exile in India, and where a vast community of monks and nuns practice their beliefs.
My name is Natasha. My name is Jumper Joma. Jumper? Nice to meet you. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
L-E-K-E-K.
The director of the nunnery, Mrs. Rinchin Kondo, gave us permission to spend a day here.
I'm very intrigued by this, your project, that Natasha could be the reincarnate of a nun before.
What she described was, at some point, there must have been some period where she trained in a monastery. That part she describes, she doesn't describe the exact location, but she describes the meditation, she describes sweeping, cleaning, being bald. What would typically draw a person to be a nun?
Well, I think in the world today, whether you're a Christian or Muslim or Hindu or Buddhist, I think those people who have chosen a spiritual path, they've really found a meaning in the value of spiritual development, which to me is not necessarily the religious development, but your inner development.
Given what Natasha said, do you think it's plausible that she may have...
Yeah, I was just trying to get to that, because we do believe that there's a, people do reincarnate. And we do also believe that some reincarnates remember their past lives.
Some reincarnates remember their past lives. Could Natasha be one of them?
Do you carry anything in your hand?
I have some beads. I'm holding them in my hand and I'm praying.
Mrs. Kondo told me of a monk that I could speak with about Natasha's past life, the Venerable Achok Rinpoche, currently living out his 4th incarnation.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
You too. Thank you for meeting me. I'm looking forward to our talk.
My pleasure.
What is your history?
My history, okay. At the age of 3, I was taken away from my mother and taken away to the monastery. It's not kidnapped. It is agreement with the mother and the father.
And do you yourself, you feel that you are?
Right now?
Yeah.
I would say yes, because the last 57 years I've been called as reincarnation by everybody, including myself. So kind of I'm acclimatized in new environment.
Right, right.
So I feel
somebody keeps calling you this, then you kind of,
I feel quite
okay.
comfortable. And whenever somebody said Achok Rinpoche, spontaneously I said yes. I said, try to respond.
Well, I thought you might like to see a little bit of the hypnosis. And this is just a little player.
I hope it's not going to break.
Oh, no.
Because my big head.
This, it goes around the back.
Okay.
Like that, and it hooks
Okay.
on.
Oh, yes, yes.
And how do you spend your day?
I meditate. I'm sitting and I'm praying. I'm wearing robes.
What color?
It's dark. It's a dark, deep red. I'm going into India. Somewhere in the mountains. It's a stone building. It's built into the mountain.
So, what do you think of this methodology of recalling a past life?
I would say a similar experience, quite common in the Tibetan community, I would say.
So you think it is possible?
It's very possible. And of course, then there are certain people who really remembered their past life very clearly. And there's a lot of proofs, but not scientifically. It's a proof is that you go there and discover the evidence.
Hi.
Hi.
What was it like?
Oh, wonderful.
Did any elements feel familiar?
There were elements of it that did. The prayers, the chanting, the rhythm of the chanting, and the tone of the chanting was what I could hear in my regression. But the language wasn't different, yeah. And it's an environment where there's no question about reincarnation. It is really pleasant to be around people who just accept it.
Achok Rinpoche has been told he's a reincarnate since he was 3. Natasha's been told her whole life that reincarnation doesn't exist. What would happen if they met?
it's really coming down.
Walking through these streets in the city of Dharamsala, it's hard to start seeing everyone around you and everyone you pass by as ancient, as someone who's lived hundreds, maybe even thousands of lives.
There's one more person, and his name is Chok Rinpoche La, and he's a reincarnate. And he's watched your regression, and I just thought it'd be great for you to talk. He's got a couple questions.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Come on. He's really nice.
Oh, I'm sure. Did you know you were the reincarnate?
I think so.
I think so.
I think so, yes. You like to hear?
I would like to hear.
My memories?
Yes.
As far as I can remember. At age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, continuously, always I can see something there. The area I've never been before. Range of the mountains coming down, like merging into the valley. So the mountain range, either side, there's a valley and the rivers flowing.
I'm somewhere in the mountains. I'm in the mountains somewhere.
On top of this stone building. But I always see it at the back of the stone building. But I didn't see, I never seen the front of the building. It's always seen as at the back of the stone building.
The stone building. It's built into the mountain. It's made out of stone. It's gray stone.
And I was trying to understand why this kind of experience coming back to me again and again. And in 1983, I was given an opportunity to visit in Tibet. So I saw that the very, very similar mountain range and the valleys. And from there, I could see back of the stone building.
Right. Oh, right.
So that kind of experience helped me help myself to understand why a peculiar experience
I'm very emotional because you talk of the mountains.
Yeah.
And I feel connection to the mountains. I feel it coming here. A strong connection.
I understand. You're welcome coming back home.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I feel very strong connection to this place. Though I've never been here before. This is going to be very difficult to leave.
I'll come back.
What wisdom can you bring from that life into your current life?
To find your need, what people and what the world needs of you. They're calling me Manju. Manju.